is the idea of a physical rapture too passive for true spiritual evolution? What if the end of the world, as described in many traditions, represents the end of our inner world of fear and suffering? Could the division between the saved and the left behind be an allegory for the separation between the awakened and unawakened states of our own consciousness? The Pistis Sophia is a banned book that challenges our understanding of the rapture. Traditional depictions tie the rapture to apocalyptic destruction, but this book suggests that the rapture could occur without any external catastrophe. Through the story of Sophia, the Christian goddess of wisdom, we'll explore how this ancient text sheds light on the rapture, not as something to anticipate, but as a process that you can begin today. To understand the Pistis Sophia, we need to start with Gnosticism, which is an ancient spiritual philosophy that offers a unique view of reality. Gnosticism teaches that the material world, with all of its struggles and imperfections, isn't the ultimate reality. Instead, it's a flawed creation created by a lesser being known as the demiurge. The Gnostics believed that the true source of all existence comes from the monad, who is infinite, perfect, and the source of all energy beyond human comprehension. But this world is governed by archons, who are the cosmic henchmen of the demiurge. They keep us from remembering our connection to the God source. But there is good news. According to the Gnostics, all humans are demigods, and within each and every one of us lies a divine spark, or a fragment of the monad, waiting to be awakened. Life in the material world is like being trapped in the archon's dream, a reality shaped by illusion, control, and ignorance. Awakening the divine spark within ourselves is like becoming lucid in that dream, which means to recognize the illusions of this world for what it is and reclaiming our connection to divine truth. The Pistis Sophia tells the story of Sophia, who is a divine emanation of the monad that represents wisdom. Her story begins in the highest spiritual realm, the pleroma, where she lives in harmony with the divine. But she becomes driven by a deep yearning to create on her own, and she acts independently of the monad's will. This act leads to her fall into the lower realms of chaos and darkness. She gets trapped in the material world and becomes overwhelmed by despair because she is surrounded by archons who can sense her power, and they do everything they can to sever her connection to the source and keep her attached to their world. Her fall is a powerful symbol of the human condition, where we have our own experiences of separation, confusion, and struggle in a world that often feels disconnected from the divine. In her despair, Sophia cries out for help, singing hymns of repentance and longing for the truth. The Gospel says, "O light of lights, in whom I have had the faith from the beginning, heartbroken now, O light, unto my repentance. Save me, O light, for evil thoughts have entered into me." This captures Sophia's cry for help and her recognition of her separation from the light. Her cries are heard by Christ, who in Gnosticism acts as a bridge between the monad and the material world. In Gnostic theology, Christ comes to earth to guide Sophia back to the light, not by dying for her sins, but by offering her secret spiritual knowledge that gives her the strength to overcome the forces that are against her. In mainstream thought, the rapture is often seen as a physical event where believers are saved and taken to a better place. But the Pistis Sophia suggests something different. The Gospel says, Now therefore, O light of lights, I have removed myself from the chaos and have come to this place. My soul hath trusted in the light, and it hath no other refuge except the light. This quote connects to the idea of the rapture as a process of waking up to truth. Sophia speaks of moving herself beyond the illusions of chaos and placing her trust in the light or deeper knowledge. The rapture, in this context, is seen as an inner process of realizing that we have been lied to and fed illusions by forces that keep us trapped in fear and ignorance, and that we can separate ourselves from these forces by choosing to live in alignment with what is real. You might wonder, why can't God, or the monad, whatever you want to call it, with all of his power, step in and save Sophia, or us? Why is it up to us to save ourselves from the trauma that comes from living on earth? The answer lies in the nature of reality. The image that most people have of the divine is this Godhead figure that is looking down on earth and observing everything that is going on. That, in my opinion, is a half truth. Think of the monad or God or the source as the internet. Stay with me here. The internet is the source of everything online. Every website, every video, every game exists because of the internet. But the internet doesn't actually do anything. It's just there, making everything possible. The monad, though it has a level of acute awareness, is the same. Sophia's story, which is really our story, is like a video game. She's a character in a game who got herself stuck on a really difficult level. The monad, or the internet, isn't going to step in and play the game for her because it can't. It can incarnate into the game and become a character that helps her along the way. Subscribe to my channel. But the whole point is for her to learn that she needs to separate herself from what she doesn't prefer and to align herself with the truth. When Sophia decided to create independently, her motivation came from desire, which was a longing to bring something new into existence. In Gnostic thought, this is significant because desire, while it is powerful and a really important aspect of life, especially here on Earth, represents a vibrational drop from the pure harmony of the higher realms. Desire introduces a sense of separation and lack, which doesn't exist within the fullness of the pleroma. As Sophia moves further into the lower realms of the demiurge's creation, this vibrational drop makes her vulnerable to the archons. When she descends into this world, the archons perform what we might call a memory wipe. This means that she forgets her origin in the pleroma and becomes trapped and distracted by the illusions of the physical realm, believing that she is separate from the light. This process mirrors the human experience. As we enter the physical world, we forget our connection to the source and get caught in one of the many traps set up by these archonic forces. So, sticking with the video game metaphor, life is not about fixing a problem. This reality is built to be chaotic and it's working perfectly. Beating the level is about realizing that ultimately, from a higher perspective, this reality is an illusion and you are actually an eternal spiritual being having a temporary human experience. And as soon as you come to that realization, you can begin controlling the game rather than letting the game control you. So, the monad isn't just sitting back watching reality like it's Netflix. It's more like the background power that makes everything work, while giving Sophia, or humanity, the free will to play out their journey because it already knows that eventually they'll figure it out. That is the real rapture. The Pistis Sophia reveals that the illusions we've been trapped in and the lies we've been told only hold power over us temporarily. Just as Sophia's fall led her to temporary pain, but eventually a greater understanding of herself and source energy, your challenges can be alchemized to fuel and elevate your mind, body, and spirit. And the rapture is not some distant event on the horizon. The rapture is a choice, an awakening you can experience within yourself right now. Thanks for watching.